Ba-dum. Week number 16 in the National Football League featuring World of Matchups and the NFL Handicapping Podcast coming to you guys live and direct from home of the handicap here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm your host, Dexter Reid. On the other side of the glass, my A1 from day one and producer of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in Spencer The Wiz. Morning.
Morning. Before we start, I just have to tell like a funny story. And, at the end of the show, we always talk about don't let gambling ruin your life. And we really mean that. I mean, there's a lot of just stupid shit that happens at the end of these games. Like last night, I had an NBA bet. And I had the Miami Heat plus 14.5 against the Celtics. And they were getting blown out in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was a 20-point game with like a minute left. And so I was like, I saw Jaylen Brown hit like a dagger three, and I was like, okay, well, this one's over. And then I look a couple hours later, and they lost by exactly 14. I mean, it really, like, these balls bounce in weird ways, and you can do all the research that you want. And I won that bet, but what I'm saying is there's so much dumb stuff that's going around in these sports things. It's like you cannot mortgage your future on these like sports contests, because really the dumbest stuff can happen at the last second.
At any given time, the worst possible outcome can happen, even if you think the bet is won. The bet's not won till there's 3 zeros up, and that's in any sport. I do this thing very carefully, man, because I'm not trying to lose my life over gambling. We do this for fun. Keep that in mind. It is fun.
Test your sports knowledge.
Yeah, it is fun. You think you know sports? Well, this is the best way to do it. You come on live before the games, and then you put your boats right on. You put your balls on the line. You know what I mean? A lot of people say a lot of stuff after the game. I come on here. Spencer comes on here and says it before the game. Last week, another bad week for me, man. 6-9, 100 and 105 for the season. I'm just trying to stay afloat and get to 500 at this point. Spencer 8-7, 99 and 106 for the year, all against the spread. Set it off, Spencer. Let's go.
All right, let's go to the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple Saturday games.
Yeah, I like it.
Personally, I love these. I think
like
they're cooler than like
football.
Thursday night games.
Yeah, this is good football.
I don't know. I think it gives the players enough time to kind of get prepared for the game. It's fun. I mean, I like college football too, but there's nothing like NFL. Anyways, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. They're visiting the Washington Commanders. And the Eagles are 7-point favorites. I hate doing this because it always seems that, division games are so close. And so you're like, wow, am I really going to take a full touchdown for Philadelphia? I think I am. And I do feel like this is one of those that I could end up regretting personally. But where's the confidence in the Commanders? I mean, where are they going to get their production from? It's just, Jaden Daniels is in. He's out. He's in. We're putting him on rest for the rest of the season. I mean, I would say the Commanders are probably the most disastrous team of the NFL season. I don't think that's an exaggeration, personally. I mean, this is a team that was close to going to the Super Bowl, and now, they're fighting for one of the top picks in the draft. It's crazy how things can go and how quickly your windows can close there. And I don't see it getting better anytime soon. I know they don't necessarily have anything to play for. I mean, it is a division game. I just think the Eagles are a much better team. And they had a get-right game against the Raiders, which I think will do them well. The Raiders are always just that team to just kind of get everyone involved, anyone and everybody. And I think that'll bode well for them because it's not like the Washington Commanders are on this hot streak. I know they beat the Giants last week, but they tried every way possible to give that game up, and that was a division game too. The Eagles are not the Giants, and so when I put all that together, I could even see this being a push in a sense. Like, I guess we'll have to see. I'd be maybe interested in, just putting this on a teaser, just the Eagles to win. I think that's a pretty easy bet, but I'll take the -7.
I'm going to go Eagles -7 as well. Anytime you're on the run it back tour, you just have to know that it's just not going to be the same trajectory that you ran it the year prior when you won the Super Bowl. A whole lot of things have happened for this Eagles team this year. The offensive coordinators come to question. Sirianni's, his seat's warm. The AJ Brown thing. AJ Brown's going to get traded in the offseason, man. They can't stand this guy. They're so sick of him. It's not even funny. They'd get rid of him now if they really want to think of trying to potentially run it back. And now they have to sit back on Thursday night and watch the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, who, in my estimation, both teams are better than the Eagles currently, go absolutely crazy and let them know, like, this is what's waiting for you in the playoffs if you don't get your act together. I think they murder this team. I really do. The Commanders are buns. They're absolutely horrendous. They don't know what they're doing with their quarterback, so they finally shut him down, which is, I think, the smart thing to do. Marcus Mariota ain't moving the needle versus anyone. Their running game is very buns, mid at best. They lose Zach Ertz. Terry McLaurin's always hurt. Got paid. Checked out. Debo's old, fat, slow. Like, they're a mess. They're a hot mess. They have been the most disappointing. Well, I'm not going to say the most disappointing, but they've been one of the top 3 most disappointing teams of this NFL season, along with probably Kansas City and Atlanta. They've been really, really bad, man. There's just what galvanizes you if you're a Commanders fan. Like the highlight of your life since Daniels got drafted was almost beating the Eagles, and then getting blown out in the second half. Like that's where it stopped. And I just don't have any confidence in them at all. Now, Jalen Carter is out. I mean, that's a huge loss for the Philadelphia Eagles. But I think the Eagles are in a place where now they are understanding that they got to put down some good tape here. You know what I mean? After what took place on Thursday night, they got to put some good tape down. They got to get people talking about them again. They got to move the needle here. I'm talking about on the ground, through the air. I'm fully expecting this to be Saquon Barkley's best game of the season here. There's no excuse why they can't give this guy the ball 25 times and he have 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. This Commanders defense is absolutely horrendous. There's no one on that team with any decent incentives to really play. You're not making the playoffs. I mean, what's your motivation here? There is none. Eagles -7 is the play. This is a great teaser, ticket that you could put the Eagles on any which way you want to. It just doesn't matter because they're motivated here. They're trying to stay in the hunt. I don't know if they still can get the 1. I don't think they can. But play out the string, go in hot. We've seen what has happened in the past with these Eagles teams where they start out so hot and then down the stretch, in particularly the one year where they had to go to Tampa, and they just fell apart, man. I think they lost 5 of their last 6 games. This year feels very much like that. I feel like they just think they're going to just coast into the playoffs and win the Super Bowl again, and I got news for you, man. Go watch those Thursday night highlights. I got 2 teams that are thinking something a lot differently than what you're thinking. So I think they come out. I think they come out strong. I think Hurts has a strong game as well. I think everyone gets involved here. I really do. And I mean, are you really expecting Marcus Mariota to beat this Eagles defense, who should be pissed off at this point? You guys should be mad. You're mad at the wrong people. You guys are mad at each other. Be mad at the team that you're playing. Put those results on tape and let's roll. Eagles -7 is the play.
All right, let's go to the other Saturday game. Another really good one. It's the Packers. They're playing the Bears. The Bears are 1.5-point favorites. Man.
How?
Man.
How? Like how are they 1.5-point favorites? Somebody explain it. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Micah Parsons' knee exploded. I think that's really the big point of contention. You know what? I'm gonna go unconventional just because I think everyone's gonna be on the Bears. I'm gonna put myself out there for this one. Micah Parsons' knee exploded and the Bears were just about to beat them in Lambeau, and now they're, in Soldier Field. This just a trap game isn't necessarily the right way to put this game, but it's just like when a young team overachieves like this with a new head coach, and it's like these are the games that you're expected to win. Like those things are earned, if that makes sense in my mind, where it's like they were just coming back from being like the most ass team in the league. I don't know if they really can truly transition from being one of the worst teams to being one of the best teams like instantly with the new head coach. I mean, they've had an amazing season, no doubt about it. Ben Johnson's up there for coach of the year. Probably not going to win it, but he'll I feel like he's like top 3. I mean, for what he's done. But this does feel like a game where they're due for like a big disappointment. Like this is a game that the Bears should win. And that's why I think they're not going to win it, if that makes sense. I do think the Packers are going to play hard because Micah Parsons tore his ACL, and that's got to piss off some guys because I'm sure they've heard the talk of, oh, well, the Packers are screwed now. And everyone else like, hey, man, we've been playing this whole damn season, like something like that. I don't know. I don't really have any conventional, like, real true reason to believe that the Bears can't win at home as like a revenge game in the division after just barely losing in Lambeau, other than the fact that I think the Bears are due for like a really big letdown here.
I love the Packers here as well for a lot of different reasons. Number one, the Packers own the Bears. They have for years, and I think they will continue to do so. I really do, man. I don't think not having their star defensive player, Micah Parsons, on the field anymore is going to be that huge of a loss. Honestly, I really don't. I mean, he is a game wrecker for sure. And shout out to him and all the other guys that have undergone, ACL surgery this last couple days because football's a man's game and guys get hurt. But the Bears are missing some important pieces here. I know it's Soldier Field. I know it's Saturday night. I know it's cold. All these elements are the same elements that the Green Bay Packers play in every single day. Now you're out Rome Odunze. You're out Luther Burden. Guys, I cannot express to you how important those two being out are. I know Colston Loveland's been coming on, but he's still a rookie. They can game plan for him. And DJ Moore has just been very mid, man. He hasn't been great. He's been okay. Running back room is kind of banged up too, man. I mean, Swift's not 100%. You're asking a lot to go out there missing this many pieces to beat a team that literally just played in probably the toughest game of the year. Now, Josh Jacobs is a true GTD. That knee could explode at any moment. But he's a real one for going out there and showing the rest of his team, like, I don't care what bumps and bruises you got. I haven't played all week. I haven't practiced all week. And I'm in the game. And I'm balling. That 40-yard touchdown he broke off last week versus Denver, bro, that's a real man. And I think that they are going to really surround this Micah Parsons thing with a team mentality. They're going to go out there and they're going to do what they have to do. And like the Eagles, this is a team that really needs to put down some good tape as well. Because everyone is all over now Seattle and the Rams. No one's really thinking about Green Bay. No one's thinking about the Eagles either, man. Let's be honest. These are some teams that are knocking on the door and letting people know we're still here too. And in order to do that, you have to beat a team like the Bears here. The Bears have had a good season, but they have had that proverbial Andy Reid first year in Kansas City season when they went 9-0. Things started really breaking right for them. Everything looks good with Ben Johnson. Caleb has been saved, but it's still too early to push them over the hump of getting to the playoffs and winning a playoff game. I just don't think they're that good yet. They've had 2 one-point wins this year. They've had a bunch of narrow margin wins. I don't think the defense outside of Jalen Johnson is particularly that good. They don't get after the passer very well. And Jordan Love's been playing pretty good. Even if Josh Jacobs doesn't suit up, I will take that 1.5 because I think Emmanuel Wilson will do just fine back there. Jaden Reed is back. Christian Watson should play, even though he got banged up a little bit last week. Sounds like he's going to get on the field, or at least give it a good go to get on the field. I just think the Packers have enough here, man. I really do. They're not a full-strength Bears team, and history tells you that when the chips fall down, the Packers are going to narrowly beat this team. I could see them winning this game by a point, but you're giving me a 1.5. I'm going to roll with it. Packers plus 1.5 is the play. Saturday night, Soldier Field.
All right, let's go to the Sunday slate. It's the Buffalo Bills. They are traveling to Cleveland to play the Browns. Shador Sanders is so bad. Oh, my gosh.
Horrible.
He's so
I
terrible.
want him to be good so bad. He's horrible.
Nah, he's just no good. The Bills are minus 10.5. I'm going to be stupid. I feel like I'm reliving my Phillip Rivers pick last week, which somehow won. I am going to take the Browns here for 2 very specific reasons, because it's a very weird line, 10.5. Very strange. I don't even think this game is going to be close necessarily, but we saw the Bills, first of all, put up stinkers at certain points of the season. So they are not immune. But I think one of the key things in all those games was that they got manhandled on the, offensive line there. They got destroyed, and Myles Garrett's chasing for a record. So that dude's playing for something more than almost anyone else in the NFL, at least from an individual standpoint. I mean, this guy's going for NFL history, and he's just on a tear. And basically no one seems to be able to stop him. This is one of the greatest defensive seasons I've ever seen from an individual player. I think that's a big factor. Factor number 2, the Bills have replaced their kicker with Badgley. He was the kicker for the Chargers for a while, and he is absolute shite. This is where NFL betting is annoying, and it can get strange, Oh, Badgley at the end of the game to put them up by 13. They're up by 10. Then he just shanks it far right. I can just see something really stupid happening there. The Browns are at home. It's like, Shedeur Sanders has been seriously absolute shit. I mean, he did beat the Raiders, and that was one of the dumbest games that they've ever won in franchise history. But he was garbage in that game. I mean, he had a couple nice throws, but for the most part, he was absolutely trash, and he just hasn't been able to pick up the play since. I mean, he had an interception last week that is just like genuinely shocking. So if he can mitigate that somehow this week, I don't know if he can. I do think this game could be closer than it probably should be. I just think the defensive line is going to be able to do something in this game. They're at home. It's just Myles Garrett wants that record, and Josh Allen has been destroyed at certain parts of the season. So
absolutely,
I'm going to take the Browns here.
I'm going to take the Browns. I was on the Bills. I was on the Bills all week, man. But I'm going to come off the Bills and go Browns plus 10.5 because for everything that you said, they've been inconsistent, this Bills team. And I'm going to just say this right now, and I'm saying this with my chest. No Lamar, no Joe Burrow, no Patrick Mahomes. If this Buffalo Bills team does not at least get to the Super Bowl, blow it up. Blow it up. There will be no more excuses for Josh Allen and this Bills team if they cannot at least not get to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying you got to win it, but all the big pieces, all the mountains that you would have to climb to get there, they're gone. What's your excuse now? Drake May? Stop. You guys are the big dogs on the porch right now. You're supposed to eviscerate this team, and that's what everyone's going to think. But just like Spencer said, we have watched at times this team absolutely collapse versus teams that, one, can run the ball, and two, with good defenses. Houston had Josh Allen on the ground in tears. In tears. Bijan Robinson ran all over the Bills. Who else ran all over the Bills? Couple teams really just gave them the freaking business on the ground. Now, they're supposed to steamroll this horrible Cleveland team. They really are. I just can't see it happening. Deion Dawkins has not been 100% protecting Josh Allen. The offensive line has been suspect all year. This is what you would like to call a classic trap game because the Browns have literally nothing to play for. They're just watching to see if, Shedeur Sanders is going to be our quarterback of the future. I think Quinshon Judkins goes crazy here. I think Harold Fannin Jr. does enough here. He's unguardable. David Njoku is out. It is his field. He is going to see at least 7 to 10 targets here. And what he can do with the ball is mob in the middle of the field. Dalton Kincaid's supposed to play, which is very, very big for the Bills because they don't throw their wide receivers because they don't really have any. I know Khalil Shakir, if he gets in the box, he gets like an extra $1 million. This is incentive-laden week too, guys. When you're making these bets, understand what incentives are out there. There's guys that are playing for literally 6 figures if they make like a certain amount of catches or if they get in the box. And so there's going to be motivation there for Shakir, but I just think the Cleveland Browns defense is going to be too much here. Myles Garrett, like I said, he's breaking this record, guys. It's happening, okay? It's just a matter of when it happens. It could happen tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me at all because they don't protect Allen the way they need to. Allen takes off and beasts fools because he has to, literally. And I think that's how he's going to have to win this game. Their wide receiver room is literally the worst in the NFL, guys. I mean, it's so bad. Khalil Shakir is a 3, masquerading as a 1. Keon Coleman is buns. Who else do they have, dude? They don't have anyone. I mean, if it's not a 12, 13 personnel, this team really can't score. And I think that Cleveland defense can hold James Cook down. I really do. I'm going to take the 10.5 points. That's just way too much out in the cold, out in the snow, whatever inclement weather is out there. Browns fans got no love for the Bills. No one likes the Bills but Bills fans. Let's be honest, man. No one wants to see this team excel. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Browns on a pull and pray. And I think that they could find a way to cover this 10.5. They're going to have to run the ball a lot, though. Control the clock. Keep Josh Allen on the sidelines and take your shot at it when you have.
All right, let's go to the Chargers. They're visiting the Dallas Cowboys, and what I would consider the most bizarre line of the week. The Cowboys are 2.5-point favorites over the Chargers.
Why?
Did I miss something?
Cowboys season's over.
I know the Cowboys haven't been terrible, right? They're 500 team. The Chargers are in must-win mode, obviously. I mean, Justin Herbert's hand broke, and they forced him to play, last week, going back a couple weeks now. You think that the Chargers can't beat the Cowboys? This isn't the Cowboys of yesteryear, where they're, like, unbeatable at home. Their season is over. That had to have been deflating in the locker room. And I know they actually do play very hard for Schottenheimer, but they can only go so far when the season's over. This is like the Chargers are in must-win super mega mode. Like every week, they have to be. I guess in the slight chance that the Broncos like slip up at some point. I mean, that's also part of it. But just playoff seeding, and these games are so important to them. And I really don't understand. This is I guess I'll go out on a limb and say this is my best bet. I'm getting points for a team that I think is. I hate to use the word guaranteed in betting, but I feel very confident that the Chargers are going to win this game in Dallas. I mean, it is not that scary to play in Dallas when the season's over. And it wasn't even at any point in the season. They've had some bad losses, especially as of recent. Dude, the Chargers should steamroll them, really, in all reality. I mean, I know they're going to be able to put up some points, but the Chargers can't win by a field goal. That would be really like one of the worst losses of the season for them. I really think so.
After losing in their building to Washington, I can't find another game on their schedule that would be more crippling. But if they lost this one, I'd be surprised. I really would. You guys got to understand, when the bully on the block takes your lunch money for years and then finally you punch the bully back, there's a level of confidence that is now instilled in your team to take the next step. They've moved up the ladder here.
Beat the damn Pistons.
That's what it's like. That's literally what it's like. You know what I mean? It's like Peyton Manning beating Tom Brady in a big game. I mean, that's what it's like. And to end the Kansas City Chiefs season by sweeping them and beating all their players to death gives the Chargers a level of confidence that they haven't had literally since Junior Seau went to the Super Bowl, and I think it was 96. I mean, they just haven't had it. They have a coach now. They have a competent quarterback, competent front office. They've got a great defense. What am I missing here? Dallas is not fighting for a playoff spot. The season is over. For all intents and purposes, they're just playing out the string. George Pickens walking around like there's no sense of urgency, giving up on routes. CeeDee is sick. Javonte is banged up. How are they favored in this game? I don't understand. I don't understand. And I watched that entire Chiefs-Chargers game last week, and the Chargers, they beat the Chiefs to death. I think they do the same thing here. I really do. Indoors, they're finding their seating here now. They're gearing up for the playoffs. They got a two-headed monster now. They can run the ball at will. I mean, Hampton is a really good back, but Vidal's been just as good. And they have pieces. Keenan Allen, he's playing for incentives too. He needs a couple catches to get some zeros in his bank account. I mean, this is a resounding Charger win. Dicker the kicker is house money, especially indoors. I don't understand this line. Chargers are my best bet as well. I think that they absolutely manhandle what was a juggernaut offense, who is now coming back to earth. The defense, they've had their moments, and I know that like they just activated Diggs and all that. I just don't think it matters, man. There's just no motivation because what are you playing for? pride. You're playing for the star. If you're a Cowboy fan, you're playing for the star. Don't get embarrassed in your own building. Guys, sometimes that's just not enough. This team, this Charger team, is Clubber Lang. And they're hungry, man. They want their shot. They have been trying to tell people all season long how legitimate they are. And we've been laughing at them. And who's laughing now? My team got swept by them. And they don't give up tons of big plays. They don't give up tons of points. And I'm telling you right now, man, the way I saw Tony Jefferson hit Rashee Rice may not have woken up yet. They are out to kill people. Derwin James, they are out to kill. They are, man. They want you to know that you can come over the middle, okay? If you feel brazen enough to do that, you do that. But I'm here to tell you, when you catch that ball, you could potentially lose your life. That's who the Chargers are right now. And I just don't see a world where Dallas's defense is going to be able to stop that run game, and I don't see a world where the Chargers are going to lay down enough to see that Dallas offense get going here. Chargers plus 2.5 is the play, and I feel very, very good about it. Guys, the Chargers are going to be a tough out in the playoffs. They're going to be a tough out. Now, if they have to go to, play Houston or something again, they'll be in big trouble because they just don't win those kind of games, and they just don't score enough. But in this particular game where they were trying to get a good seed and show everybody what, again, when you have that kind of Thursday night game happen – and everyone else is home watching, they're like, dude, we got to put some tape down. They got to put some tape down, and I think they do it here.
All right, let's go to a pretty bad game, all things considered. It's the New York Jets. They're visiting the Saints. Saints are -6. As much as I'd love to take the Jets here because, a win would be really big for the Raiders, and I've kind of been following that, betting trend recently, I can't do it here. The Jets are seriously... They're in a race for the most dysfunctional team with the Raiders right now. And again, it doesn't really matter. This is good for both teams. This is what they have to do. And they're playing the part. It's just that it's like, as a fan, it's for the best, but it is just truly miserable to watch. It's like deep down inside, you don't want to see it be this bad, even though that's kind of how it needs to be. And so these games are all just so massive. I mean, it is crazy. The season feels so long when you're one of these teams at the top of the draft because you just want to see how the ball is going to bounce, really. But the Saints are just such a better put-together team than the Jets right now. Jets just fired the defensive coordinator. Brady Cook is playing. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than this. It's really kind of embarrassing. The Saints are at home. They've really been playing some decent football recently. I mean, and you know what? To be fair, outside of a few inconsistencies, they've actually played pretty well this season, I guess. Which I know sounds stupid to say for a 4-win team, but if you've really been watching them on a week-to-week basis, they've played really tough in some of these games, way more than anyone ever thought they would. I mean, this was a team that we all penciled as the number 1 overall pick, and they might not even get close now. They might be picking at number 10 if they rack up a few more wins here. I mean, shocking results last week, or maybe not, knowing the Carolina Panthers, which we talked about. We called the reverse of that game, and I talked myself out of it. But the Saints, I think, are going to destroy them. I mean, I'm putting this on a teaser for sure. I mean, the Jets are absolute shite, and Brady Cook is shite. I mean, the whole team is just an absolute mess. And I hate the way the NFL works, where you have to fire a coordinator when things are going so badly. I mean, the Raiders did it with Chip Kelly. As if that was the real problem, Was the defensive coordinator for the Jets the real problem with that team? No. But it's for whatever reason in this league, you have to do something. There's just too much pressure in the building or something like that. And I get that there's every game is equivalent to millions of dollars, whatever you want to call it. It's not like they're out there really playing for free and for fun, but I just kind of hate that culture where it's someone has to be the fall guy. I do feel bad for the defensive coordinator for the Jets. I feel like these are all decisions that you should make in the offseason. Mid-season firings, I really think, are the dumbest thing that franchises do. Truly. And I just think it causes so much chaos. I think you're going to see it here. I cannot imagine a world, and I can't believe I'm saying this for the Saints, where the Jets are in this at all, close. I think this is going to be 10-0 going into the middle of the second quarter, and then it just kind of gets worse for them. The Jets maybe have a garbage touchdown at the end and we're 10-20, 10-24. I mean, something stupid like that. I mean, I feel like that's going to be the final score. I love the Saints at home here, actually.
I do too. The Saints should really have no problem handling the Jets minus the Tutty. Tutty will win you money here. I mean, Brady Cook is not good. I mean, the guy's a practice squad quarterback. Just shows you how bad that Justin Fields truly is, even though I really like the guy. I mean, he's banged up. Tyrod Taylor's banged up. Garrett Wilson's like, hell no, I'm not coming off IR. I mean, they got Adonai Mitchell and Brees Hall. I mean, they're going to load the box. Cam Jordan needs half a sack for $400K. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, I know they're banged up too. I mean, Vele's out. Neal is out, so their second and third stringers are playing. But, I mean, Olave's still there. Tyler Show's been pretty good, man. He has not been bad. I think the Saints might have something in this guy. I mean, he was a horrible draft pick in my estimation. Probably the worst, but he's been playing pretty good with his legs. I could see Taysom Hill making a splash play here. I think all in all, the defense should win this game. I mean, they did beat Carolina last week. That's a good win. The Saints aren't laying down for picks. That much is obvious. They're trying to win these games. And the Jets are horrendous. What's the Jets' motivation? I mean, they're a bad team. They're really bad. I mean, there's nothing there, man. I mean, at this point, Aaron Glenn just wants to come back next year and see what they can do with some fresh meat on that team. They get Williams out of there. I mean, they're just a mess. When Brady Cook is your quarterback, I'm betting against you every time, man. They're just not a good football team right now, and they're not trying to win. Saints aren't much better, but they're home, and there's incentives all over the field. They should be able to cover this 6. I'd be really surprised if they don't. Watch out for Adonai Mitchell in this game, man. He's the guy that I'm concerned with. I think they'll stop Brees Hall, but not much else is going on. Mason Taylor doesn't scare me. None of these guys scare me. This is where the Saints defense should eat. This is Saints D all day, minus the 6, and I feel comfortable saying so.
All right, it's the ass bowl in my opinion. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're playing the Carolina Panthers. Two teams that desperately don't want to win football games. It looks like, 7-7. It's a fight for the NFC South. Jeez. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers because this is what they do. They lose a bad, disappointing game to the Saints. Oh, we're all off the Panthers now. Here's Bryce Young's. Take every Bryce Young over that is possible. Over touchdowns, over yards. These are the kinds of games where he's like, okay, all right, now I'm going to have 450 and 3 touchdowns. Yep. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, it is really that bipolar for him. I don't know how you can have such wild inconsistencies. It's really something to observe. And I don't really have a real reason to think that. I mean, I do like having +3 at home. I think that really bodes well. I could see this being a field goal game and maybe a push here, or maybe a weird 2-point conversion. I mean, I prefer these plus points in these close division games for the top race too, because I think Carolina could win this game. I know Mike Evans is back and their offense is like really going, but the Buccaneers defense is trash. I mean, it is so really, bad. Really, really bad.
It's so bad.
I love the over in this game. I don't know what it is, but whatever. I think it's like 45 or something. 45.5. I'm teasing the over on that. So I think the Panthers could have 30 points, and so could the Bucs. I mean, this could be a 28-25 game. Either way. I mean, it's more of a hunch than anything, but both of these defenses, I mean, to be fair, Carolina's defense is pretty good, but the Buccaneers can score against anybody in the league now that they have full power. So I think that kind of cancels out the progress of the Panthers defense. And Carolina can score when they feel like it. They don't always do it, but when they feel like it, they can go nuclear. I think Rico Dowdle has a big game. I think Tetairoa McMillan has a big game. I mean, I think this is going to be just a punch out. I think it's going to be a heavyweight fight. I mean, they're as mid these teams are, I guess is the best way to put this. It doesn't matter to them because they're both fighting for a playoff spot. One of these teams is not making the playoffs, and the only way that either of them are getting in is by winning the NFC South.
Yep.
And so they can be as mid as anyone wants them to be, but at the end of the day, these two teams play each other on Sunday to decide really who gets to take the lead. And pretty much this is probably like the deciding game of who's going to the playoffs. And so it's a playoff game. And so it's going to be a heavy hitting fight with them. I think it's going to be really close. And I think Carolina is at home and I'm getting a field goal. I really like that.
I love it. I'm on the Panther parade here. Panthers are going to playoffs. Baker's going home. Mike Evans is going to Canton. I mean, it's just that simple. Their defense can't keep them in games. You just got carved up on national television by Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. Kirk Cousins is washed. Kirk Cousins is 1,000 years old. Okay? You let Kyle Pitts have a legacy game versus your defense. That's pathetic. I'm sorry. That's bad. And I don't care how healthy your offense is. If your defense can't stop anybody, you can't do anything in this league, man. And I think this literally, coming off a horrendous loss to the Saints, is exactly where you take Bryce Young and the Panthers.
I know.
Because you're going to be off them after a putrid performance last week. I think they right the ship here in a big way. And you like Tet. Tet's got those foot and ankle injuries that have kind of concerned me. I like Jalen Coker out of nowhere this week, man. Jalen Coker, anytime tutty, is definitely plus money, and he is going to have a nice game. Bryce Young is going to have a nice game. Rico Dowdle needs 113 scrimmage yards for $1 million.
Easy.
What? You're going to get that boy his millie. He a millie. He getting that millie. All right? And so, J.C. Horn, bounce back game. Mike Evans, going to be all over that guy like glue. They're going to have to shadow Emeka Egbuka. But I think that they're going to do enough to win this game. Dude, Bijan Robinson went for 175 scrimmage yards versus this defense in Tampa. If you don't love the Panthers this week, there's no better. I don't know when you can love them. When can you love them? Let's not forget, this is a team that beat Green Bay in Green Bay. They have signature dubs. They're a good team. They're a rising stars all over the place. They're a couple of players away, man. They're 5 players away from really going deep in the playoffs. And I think they win the South, and I think they get in the playoffs. I do. And I think Bryce Young has one of his best games of the season here. I'm taking the Panthers. You already know, home dogs pay dividends. I'm going to die saying this. I'm going to die. 60% of the time, home dogs pay dividends. Guys, that's a big number. In the NFL, what? I cannot in my right mind take Baker Mayfield and this lifeless Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense versus anyone. Because the only way they can win is to score 40 at this point. They just don't have it. They just don't have it. And that's okay. You have an excuse. That's okay. Sometimes it's just not your year. Injuries happen. You just don't have the personnel, and I think that's the case. It's not like Mike Evans is going out like Travis Kelce. Mike Evans is a dog, dude. We all know what he's been able to do. Kelce's just old. Mike Evans could still play, but I do think he retires after this year. I think this is it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't see him going to another team like all of a sudden he's on Seattle next year. I think he is a lifelong Buccaneer, and I think this is it for them, man. I'm taking the Panthers plus the 3, and I'm taking every single over Rico Dowdle has.
Let's go to the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing the Giants. The Giants are at home. Vikings are -2.5. Well, J.J. McCarthy had the best game of his career, I guess. And the Giants are bad. I mean, is there really anything else that you need to know? I mean, the Vikings are another one of those really bipolar teams where sometimes they dominate and sometimes it's hard to track. And this is an ugly game. I'm just going to take Minnesota. It's not something I feel confident on. It's not something I'm putting on a ticket because I really don't know which way this is going to go. This is 2 bad teams, and it decides which team wants to be worse. I mean, I guess that's really all it is. Justin Jefferson needs to get out of Minnesota. I mean, even in one of their best performances of the year, Justin Jefferson was a ghost. TJ Hawkinson's, I guess, picking things up a little bit. It's the Jordan Addison show now in Minnesota. I mean,
Jalen Naylor.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you forget that Justin Jefferson plays for them. And they were dominant. Like, they had a dominant win last week. So I just think, I guess Minnesota is just a better team right now, like in this moment. And I think that maybe that's all that matters. I mean, the Giants do play hard. Would it be enough for them to win this game? And that's really what you're saying at +2.5. I just don't think so. I mean, Again, obviously another team that has nothing to play for. I mean, we're all gearing up for the first overall pick bowl with the Raiders next week, so I don't see any hiccups in the road, I guess, so to speak. So I'm going to take Minnesota -2.5 here.
I can't, in my right mind, take the Giants here. I'm done. I'm probably done taking the Giants all season. They're just done. No, I just don't like what they're doing, man. I don't like what they're doing, Jackson Dart. They're gonna get Jackson Dart killed. I mean, they fired Brian Dable over this, and you guys are still running him all over the place, or he's choosing to just run. Dude, Brian Flores and this defense are ranked number 1. They're just gonna take Dart apart. If you cannot run the ball at will here, which I don't think you're going to be able to, you're in big trouble. Dude, who are your weapons, man? Darius Slayton? I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson? I mean, come on, man. These guys aren't real needle movers. And as bad as J.J. McCarthy has been, he's playing better. I mean, he's doing the gritty into the end zone. He's throwing balls. And they're not even getting Jay Jettas involved. That's the thing, man. You can't tell me this team can't win by a field goal. Field goal wins you money here, man. I mean, Jordan Mason can run the ball. Hawkinson can catch it. I mean, the Giants, they're just, I don't know. They just don't have enough personnel. And again, why are you trying to win? I want my team to lose every game the rest of the season. If I'm not winning a Super Bowl, I want the highest possible pick. I want the best wiggle room I can get in the draft. I'm not thinking about January because there is no January for my team. I'm thinking about the NFL draft in April, March, wherever it is. And the Giants are out here trying to win. Jackson Dart out here trying to be a hero. Boy, you're going to get yourself killed. And I think you're going to see it in a big way here. I love the Vikings just because the defense is real. And shout out Brian Flores here. Can I just shine this man up? You guys ruined this guy's Miami career. He didn't want Tua. You forced Tua on him. He told you Tua was buns. You didn't want to listen. You ran him out of Miami. And now look at you now, benching Tua. Just like he told you. Somehow, when that news came out, my man was drinking a scotch and puffing on a Cuban. Because he told you. He told you, and then you guys gave him a raw deal. Minnesota defensive coordinator is the best place for this guy. And they're going to send the dogs at Jackson Dart. They really are. I can't see the Giants staying in this game. Vikings -2.5 is the play.
All right, let's go to the Kansas City Chiefs. They're visiting the Tennessee Titans. The Chiefs are -2.5.
Tennessee money line.
I actually do like Tennessee in this game. I mean, obviously, there's just a thick black cloud over the top of the Chiefs now. I mean, more than they've had and since before Patrick Mahomes was there. I mean, since Andrew Luck came back against the Chiefs in the playoffs. I mean, trying to think back to like the lowest point of the Chiefs in a while. It's been a long time, and they've officially reached it here. Mm-hmm. And to give Tennessee credit, I mean, they've been fighting pretty hard.
Better. Yeah.
I mean, they kept it kind of close against the 49ers, closer than I thought they would. And Gardner Minshew stinks.
Mean,
he's trash. I mean, we saw it last year. That hasn't changed. They don't change with the uniform. Still the same player. And Travis Kelce gave up on the season a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And he's just I know you're a Chiefs fan, but I really hate Travis Kelce. I think he's turned into a big absolute crybaby.
He just needs to retire. Just retire.
All he does is scream at his teammates and drop passes.
Yep.
That is the Travis Kelce experience.
Passes this year. Yep.
Drop passes that turn into interceptions, and all he wants to do is complain to everyone else. He's got to look inward, man. I don't know if it's the marriage or what, but
just retire. I wanted him to retire this year, so please just retire so we can move the page, so we can go get Isaiah Likely. You know what I mean? So we can go get Kyle Pitt. Dude, please just retire. Take Swift with you, and so we can start to rebuild this franchise. I'm serious. I want him gone this year. So
the rebuild starts now for the Chiefs. I mean, it's a really extreme way to start it, but they don't have a choice because I mean, Mahomes will probably be out for not most of next season. So
nah, I disagree on that. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it depends because going into next year, what happens if they're like 2-5? Are they going to rush Mahomes back onto the field? I think
Mahomes plays week 1.
I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. That's
I
neither
do.
here nor there, but
Dude, the guy's already rehabbing. The guy had surgery literally less than 24 hours after he got hurt. He's like, you're not shelving me. Him and Bobby Stewart, they're already working on getting that knee together. He is
ugh.
playing week 1. I would bet my life. Week 2, the latest. The latest. Dude, this is Patrick Mahomes we're talking about, Spencer. This is a man that refuses to stay off the field. You have to murder Patrick Mahomes to drag him off the field. Nobody has played hurt at the quarterback position in the last 5 years more than Patrick Mahomes. What quarterback? Name one. You saw it in the Super Bowl on one leg. I mean, he does it all the time, dude. Sprained ankles, he's out there. You have to drag Patrick Mahomes off the field. He's like Brady. You have to kill him. He's already rehabbing. Are you kidding? Most guys wouldn't even have had the surgery yet.
Wow. I guess we'll see. But I think Tennessee is going to play really hard at home here. They've played okay. And also, I don't know how the Chiefs just recover from that. I don't think it's as simple just like, all right, let's soldier on and finish the season out. It's tough to miss the playoffs like that. And I think it just kind of crashes and burns for them. And I think there's a lot of changes in the offseason for the Chiefs coming. I mean, any week can be a letdown for the Titans. I mean, betting on them isn't a good feeling, but this is just a bad football game, really, at the end of the day. And I think Tennessee maybe has one more win in them for the rest of the season, and it really could be this one.
Yep. This is the worst football game on the slate. And I don't know about you or the Chief fans out there. I'm happy about this. Guys, if you're not going to win the Super Bowl, lose games so you can get better players. In the Brett Veach era, they've never picked better than 31. I need a running back. I need defensive tackles. I need pass rushers. Guys, I need players. And the only way you get players is to get better picks. If the Chiefs give me a 11 through 15 draft pick, that's what I want. Lose every single game the rest of the way. Don't try to win. Win for what? I'm trying to win Super Bowls, not games. And so, lose out. And this is a perfect game to lose. The Titans have been playing a lot better. Tony Pollard has been running the ball with a lot of aggression. I think that the Titans win this game outright. Gardner Minshew stinks. Rashee Rice concussed. Tywan Thornton concussed. I mean, the Chargers absolutely, they laid the wood to Kansas City. Their offensive line is in absolute shambles. Everyone's out. I mean, are you kidding me? You can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs here, who are a C- team right now. They're not healthy. Andy Reid might be on his last couple games. Travis Kelce's out there for his swan song. He's going to finish out the last 3 games and retire. Guys, the Chiefs should not be trying to win this game. Harrison Butker can't make a chip shot. I mean, if you don't take Tennessee here, what are you doing? You really think that Gardner Minshew and a lifeless Chiefs team is going to go into Tennessee that's been playing a lot better with a decent defense, Jeffrey Simmons on the other side, and win this game? You're out of your mind. Titans, the fact that they're favored here is an absolute crime because the Chiefs have literally given up. They can't get to the quarterback, even when they blitz. Chris Jones and George Karlaftis have not been good this year. Chris Jones has been better of late. Karlaftis has not been good. They paid him. Trent McDuffie, their number 1 cover corner, not playing. I mean, everyone's out. How are you?
Yeah, they have a lot of people out.
Guys, how are you betting on Gardner Minshew and a team missing half their players? Are you kidding me? Everyone, do not, for the life of you, think that this is the same Kansas City Chiefs team that has won Super Bowls in the last 5 years. It's not. They're a shell of their former selves. They are literally praying that they would just end the season today if they could and get to work. Their leader is dead. Stop. Titans plus 2.5 is such a great bet here, man. It really, really is because they're going to play hard in their building. And they got nothing. They're just literally, for them, beating the Chiefs would give them confidence because it's just a name. Well, we beat the Chiefs. That's what it is. They're not going anywhere, but neither is Kansas City. Dude, Kansas City is horrendous this year. I mean, they have fallen so far, it's almost, you can't even pinpoint what went wrong because everything went wrong. Because everything. They haven't done one thing right this season. I can honestly say that. The only thing that the Kansas City Chiefs have done right this season, honestly, is be more aggressive on 4th down. Because they've gotten a lot of these 4th downs. But Andy Reid doesn't want to play the young guys. Everything is 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Pacheco sucks. Kareem Hunt is old. Are you kidding me, man? I love Tennessee here, and I hope they beat the Chiefs down. I do. I want players. I want players. I want players. I want good players. I want players. I want explosive. I want Travion Henderson's on my team. That's what I want. I want cover corners. I want defensive tackles. I want guys that want to win the Super Bowl. I want hungry, young players. And the Chiefs are old. The Chiefs are slow. And the guys that are getting paid are not living up to their contract. Tennessee plus 2.5 in a landslide win. All my money would be on Tennessee if I was gambling on this game. The Chiefs have nothing left.
All right, let's go to really one of the ugliest games on the slate. And there's a lot of bad games this week. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. They are playing the Miami Dolphins. Whew, Quinn Ewers is starting here. I think that's all you really need to know, I guess. Miami has officially waved the white flag. Tua's cooked. I don't think he's ever going to start again unless there's an injury and he's a backup quarterback.
He's done.
I don't even know. He seems like one of those guys who would not like willingly accept a backup role, and so he may just fade off into the sunset.
He'll be out of the league then, because he's not getting another starting gig in the NFL.
No, it just comes down to whether or not he's willing to accept a backup role, which for some reason I just feel like he doesn't, but maybe I'm wrong. But he's done. His done. His time in Miami is done, and probably his time in the NFL is over. And Cincinnati is bad too, but guys like Quinn Ewers, it's not the right place for him. I mean, I actually kind of liked Quinn Ewers when it came to like stashing him away in the draft. He's not ready for this. I think Shamar Stewart's coming back in this game, which obviously is a plus for them. And Cincinnati plays hard every week. I mean, they're a bad team. We knew that, but these are both bad teams. And so when I'm comparing two bad teams, I'll take the one that has a quarterback and a good offense. I mean, it's really that simple. I mean, those are really just. I mean, the Dolphins just really shit the bed against the Pittsburgh Steelers there.
So bad.
That was a horrible, horrible game. I mean,
that's the end of Tua's career.
Wasn't shocking, but boy, is Tua just really. He was playing for his career and he fell flat on his face, and so I don't see that improving with Quinn Ewers. I think this team is just a really strange Miami Dolphins team that is like half in, half out. No one knows what's going on. And it's just it's a mess. It's a mixture of good and bad and everything in between. I mean, there's just no identity for them. And so I like the Bengals -4. It's not something I feel passionate about. It's really not a game I'm interested in watching like at all. I'm sure I'll see it on the Red Zone channel every once in a while, but I don't see this being an interesting contest in the slightest. But I could see the Bengals scoring 27 in this game. The Dolphins really going to get to 20 points. I have a really hard time believing that.
They're just going to stack the box against Achane, and that's going to be the game. Because Quinn Ewers, his first game in the NFL versus Joe Burrow, that's not a place you want to be. This is a team that can score a lot of points really quickly. Jamar Chase Brown. I think T. Higgins will suit up. Defense has been playing a lot better, man. Last 5 or 6 weeks, they've got at least 7 or 8 takeaways. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is a make Joe Burrow get happy game, because the guy's miserable in Cincinnati. He literally is. Like, he's already talking about wanting to go elsewhere. I mean, they just haven't protected him. They haven't helped him defensively, and he's stuck there because he's got 250 million reasons why. Like, you got to make the best of a horrible situation, and to do that, you need to win games. And so, getting shut out in your building by a bad Ravens team was a really bad look. Really bad look. This is where they get healthy. Quinn Ewers in Miami are in big trouble. All their, wide receivers and tight ends are all going to take a hit here. This is just going to be check down Charlie. Quinn Ewers, this is not Texas, son. This is the NFL, man. You know what I mean? And I don't think that Miami can score 20 points here. I don't. And I know for a fact that the Bengals can score 30 points. So why wouldn't you lay the 4? It's just that simple. And I don't care where this game is played. It doesn't matter. Miami is done. And Tua, for all you people for years that tried to tell me that I was crazy for thinking Tua sucks, I'm awaiting you in the comments of this production. Because there's a lot of you guys. I said this years ago. I said this years ago when Tyreek got traded to Miami. I said it doesn't matter. He'll put up some stats, but the boy sucks. He's not a good NFL quarterback. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to hear from one of you. Not one of you will have the balls to come in here and say, you know what, you were right. The guy's not good. You guys all told me how great this guy was. Tua sucks. His eggs are scrambled. He is a backup quarterback at best in this league, or he'll be out of the league. I'm taking Bengals -4 with confidence.
All right, let's hop over to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're playing in Denver. Denver is -3.5. I like Denver here. I don't think the Jaguars are all that good. I know they had a big week last week, but the big thing for them is when they can run the ball, they become a very good football team. And, ETN went nuclear last week. I mean, really crazy against a bad Jets team. But if they can control the game with the running and then mix in the pass, that's when they're really good. When they rely on Trevor Lawrence to pass the ball all the time, that's when things get bad. And you're going against the best defensive line in football, in my opinion, other than maybe the Texans. But I still probably would give the edge to the Denver Broncos. I think Trevor Lawrence gets eaten alive in this game, personally. I think Denver's playing really good football right now. I think they had a huge game last week. I mean, I was pretty surprised. I like the Packers in that game, and they played their best football game of the season. And I know the Jaguars they do have a lot of momentum, but I feel like they've been playing a lot of these soft teams, which is not their fault because it's their schedule. But I feel like this is just the wrong time for them to do this. Like, if you're the Jaguars, this is the game you want to play after you beat like a really decent team, or like after the Chargers, like that would have been a great time for them to play because they feel a little bit more like prepared. I know it's an entire field goal and the Jags should stay into this game, but I just think you're going to see a bad Trevor Lawrence game. I think it's going to ruin it for him. I could just see it happening. We've seen it happen so many times. And it's funny. Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix actually have a very similar stats, like almost to the number. Mm-hmm. But I just think that the Denver defense is going to be dominant in this one, especially at home. I just have a bad feeling for the Jacksonville Jaguars this week.
I'm going to take the Jags +3.5. I think Trevor Lawrence deserves a little respect from me, so I'm going to give it to him. I mean, I know they've been playing bad teams, but they've been not winning. They've been stunting. Okay, they've been winning pretty. They've been really showing you how they can win in other ways, just besides running the ball. And I like that Jacoby Myers got paid. I like all of it, man. You come in, you find a home, he deserves it. He's the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. And they're doing a lot of this without really even getting Brian Thomas or Brenton Strange involved. Those guys are stud players, man. If they can ever get those guys going, I think Jacksonville stays in this game, man. I think Denver is just not as good as people think they are. They got a great defense, but I have seen that offense sputter. It's not like they're throwing up 30 points a game. They're not. They're just keeping you from scoring 20. And I think that Jacksonville can get to 20 here. I do. I think Trevor Lawrence has to be careful of where he puts the ball. Just run the ball. Don't throw to Surtain. I mean, the question is who's Surtain going to be on? Because he can't be everywhere. You know what I mean? I mean, are you really going to leave Brian Thomas Jr. open in this game? I'm not. I know he's been bad, but I'm not leaving him open. Okay, so now Jacoby Myers is open. I mean, Barron has not been good for them. There's opportunities for points here for Jacksonville, and I think their defense is better than advertised. And quite frankly, I've watched Jacksonville bully quite a few teams this year on the ground. I don't know if they can do it to Denver, but I know that there's not going to be any shortage of them trying to. They're going to try to set the tone running the football. That's how you win in Mile High. You got to keep that offense on the other side of the field and just not make mistakes through the air. I think Jacksonville can do that. I mean, if we can see this, I know Liam Cohen can see this, and they're playing at a very high level. I'm done bashing Jacksonville, and I'm starting to think that they're quite a good team. They have excelled week after week. Not too long ago, we were talking about how horrendous Trevor Lawrence is, and he might still be bad, but you know what? There's a lot of quarterbacks that need a good running game to be good. It's not just him. So why are we shitting on him like this? Now, if he goes out and throws 3 picks, I'm going to regress back to the old Trevor Lawrence sucks here. But they've been winning games. They've been winning games, and they've been winning games a lot of different ways. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to come off Trevor Lawrence a little bit. I would like to see him go out and have a great game here. This, honestly, without it being a legacy game, this is really a true silence to doubters game because everyone's like, well, they play the Jets. Well, they play these bums. Yeah, they played these bums. This is a quality team on the road. Show me you are as good as you think you are. And you're going to get a lot more people jumping on the bandwagon here. They've been playing really hard football, man. And I think Liam Cohn, he is in the discussion for coach of the season. He really is. If the Jacksonville Jaguars get this game, you're going to see him get coach of the year because this is a quality win at the highest level. Denver at home is as tough as anyone, but I'll take those 3.5 points, and I'm going to go to Sizzler if I win. Next.
All right. It's the Atlanta Falcons. They're playing the Arizona Cardinals. The Falcons are -3. I like that. I mean, really, this whole movement from the Falcons now in retrospect just seems stranger and stranger. And I know Kirk Cousins was bad coming off that ACL season that he had, and he's still not great, but I just think they really screwed themselves when they give him this massive contract and then sign Michael Penix, because you're just sending a really weird signal to your franchise, because it wasn't like Michael Penix was this project guy. He was old coming out of college, and so you couldn't have just sat him. So I just think that decision is like the beginning point of the downfall of the Falcons and what they're doing, because Kirk Cousins is playing decent football, and this inconsistency of playing and not playing and playing, it's never good for your team. And you could see, like, now that Kirk Cousins know that he's not going to be sitting, or he doesn't have all this pressure behind him with Michael Penix, they're playing better. And now it's obviously way too late for them to recover from that. The Rams have their pick next year, and so they're just not a super well-run team. But with that being said, they're playing decent football right now, and Arizona's crumbling. I mean, they have been for a while. They're no good. I think the Falcons are going to score a bunch of points in this game, and I just think things are getting worse and worse for the Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals. They have nothing to play for. They're going to be cleaning house pretty soon here. I mean, this is going to be a blow-up season, I think, for the Arizona Cardinals. Changing at quarterback, change at head coach probably. I mean, I could see that happening. I think they need to just burn it all down, and I think they're ready. I think they're on autopilot right now for the rest of the season. And I think the Falcons are going to score enough points to cover that field goal.
I can't take the Falcons with confidence anywhere. I know they won last week, but I just can't, man, because this is what they do. You're set up to go cover on the road versus a bad team, and then they lose the game outright. I'm going to take the Cardinals plus the 3 here. I think Jonathan Gannon is coaching for his job. They're going to try to win the game. He wants to come back. I mean, who are the Falcons? I know they have this explosive offense, and they still have done nothing all year long. I'm sorry, you think Kirk Cousins is going to have another big game like that? I don't. They're set up to catch you in the manhole walking across the street because you're going to be gassed off your last memory, which was them winning a big game in Tampa. Dude, Tampa's defense sucks too. I don't know. I know that we're looking at a very banged-up Arizona team, but I would be crazy to think that they're not going to be trying to win. Jacoby Brissett is more of a starter than Tua is in this league. You know, he's still looking for a place to be, whether it's going to be Arizona or not. Trey McBride is trying to shatter records. Michael Wilson has been very, very good for them. I mean, they have players, man. You know what I mean? Now, the defense, both teams is not very good. I like the over in this game, but home dogs pay dividends. I'm going to take the 3. I'm going to pull and pray. I know that Arizona has been bad. They've been really bad, but they play hard, man, and they've been jobbed in a couple of these games. Indianapolis was one of them. I just think that they stay in this game. I just don't. Here's the problem. I don't trust Atlanta anywhere. How can you trust Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons and Raheem Moore? You just can't trust that you're going to get the same performance you saw under the lights. This is where they lay an egg. I'm going to take the Cardinals plus 3.
Let's go to the Las Vegas Raiders. They're visiting Houston to play the Texans. Texans are -14. That's not enough. The Raiders might score 0 points in this game, and I'm not exaggerating. Horrible matchup for them. I mean, their season's been derailed because they don't have an offensive line, and so you can't have an NFL season without it. And so nothing matters. Literally nothing. Any other problem with the team doesn't matter because you don't have an offensive line. I mean, partially due to injuries, right? Jackson Powers Johnson, Colton Miller hurt, so fair enough. Charles Grant's come on a little bit, and so it gives me a little bit of hope for next season. He was the third round pick. He's played pretty well actually, but everyone else is practice squad and worse, and so you can't play football like you can't scheme anything, you can't do anything without it, and they're going against maybe 1A or 1B when it comes to the best defensive line in the NFL. They're going to get crushed, which is fine. You know, this is what they need to do. They need to get the first overall pick, get a quarterback, draft an offensive lineman, at the 32nd pick, sign one or trade one, and then you now have something to build off of for an offensive line. I mean, this is the path they have to take. It's miserable every week, and you know what? Especially if you're a Raiders fan, like you can't get caught up in the emotions of this year. And I know it sounds really weird to say, like, don't be a prisoner of the moment. I mean, you don't have to watch the game. You know, it sucks. I turn the game off. I watch it. You know, I'm kind of a passive like viewer of it, but I'm not watching every snap with a high level of like intent because it's the most depressing thing you've ever seen in your life. But I talked about this before. Whether or not the Raiders lost last week 31-30 or 31-0, it goes in as a loss in the column. There's no win differential difference in the NFL. You know, when it comes to tiebreakers at the top of the draft, a loss is a loss. And so you forget these losses when you build yourself a team. Chiefs, fans, I'm sure most of them forget a time before Patrick Mahomes when they were bad. In the moment, I'm sure it feels like the worst thing of all time. Like when you were watching it in that thing, it was probably the most depressing thing you've ever seen. But once they had all the pieces in place, they were able to build off of something. And that's what the Raiders have to focus on. I hope they don't fire Pete Carroll. I really don't. I hope they fire his son and all these Nepo hires. I'm not a fan of. But I don't, like I said, Andy Reid and prime Tom Brady could be on this team right now, and they might have 4 wins. I mean, that might be the best that you can squeeze out of this. There's a lot of problems with this team. And like I said, it starts with the offensive line. They can't play football. They cannot play what every other team in the NFL is playing right now because the line situation is that bad. And so there's nothing they can do. They're going to get destroyed. This might be seriously like 40-0. It might be the worst loss of the season, which is saying something considering what they've done. And that's okay because it's another loss in the column. And you got to start getting nervous about the last 2 games because they play a really bad Giants team, obviously, and they play a Chiefs team that's not really going to have anything going for them. And they'd love nothing more than this, probably to spoil the Raiders' chances at the first overall pick. So, but it's not. There's going to be no worries this week. This is a team that is going to come in and absolutely decimate the Raiders, and that's fine.
Yep, that's what you want to have happen. Texas minus 14 is a play on my end. I'm not scared to lay points at all. I mean, the Raiders might get shut out back-to-back weeks here. They're horrendous. Ashton Gentry has been an unmitigated disaster. Let's stop acting like Brock Barris has had this amazing season because he hasn't. His five tight ends have been better than him this year. I mean, they're bad. Geno's buns. I don't know. I think you fire Pete Carroll and you get a innovative, creative mind in there. The guy is way past his prime. He's old.
I mean, I would if Clint Kubiak came in and said he would, and they had the first overall pick, I would take that.
Clean house, man. You get a guy in there. You get a Ben Johnson. You tell him to go pick your staff. I would give my right on for Sean McVay if they would. Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams win this Super Bowl, man, that guy can command a blank check from any team, and I would go to the Raiders and I would rebuild it, and I would take every single nickel that Mark Davis would give me. I would take $1 billion check and bounce out of it. That's what you need. You don't need a young guy. I think the same thing goes for a lot of these teams, man. I mean, you're seeing it with like Andy Reid. The guys getting older in their 70s. They're tired of the travel. They've won a bunch. What more do you need to prove? Nothing. You're a Hall of Fame head coach. Time to get young. Time to rebuild. And that's what the Raiders are finally doing. Guys, if the Raiders would have listened and did this 5 years ago, they'd be in the playoffs now. They'd be in the playoffs now. Raiders could have had C.J. Stroud. You know what I mean? They could have C.J. Stroud. The Raiders have had plenty of opportunities. This is why I don't feel bad for you guys. You have had millions of opportunities to go draft a franchise quarterback. You just have chosen to not do so. So this is what you're left with. I think that the Texans' even banged up running game is going to maul this team. I really do. I mean, what else is there to say, man? I mean, Nico Collins should go crazy. Dalton Schultz should go crazy. The defense alone is going to be enough to slow this team down because the Raiders, they just have nothing to play for. Why would you want to win right now? Hold on to that number one pick like it's your most prized
You
possession
lose
because
out, you
it
get the first
is.
overall
You
pick.
get the first overall pick. You're used to losing, so just continue to lose. You're in the race to lose and get better picks, just like a lot of these teams are. Meanwhile, Houston is trying to make it to the Super Bowl and show everybody you can actually win with defense again. I love the minus 14 here. I ain't scared of it at all. I'm taking Houston in a big way because the Raiders are just absolutely anemic. They're a horrible franchise.
All right, let's go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They play the Detroit Lions. I don't know what to think, man. Steelers are like the Panthers, honestly, where you're on them and then they put up the worst performance of the season, and then you're off of them and they put up the best performance of the season. It's just what they do. I'm gonna take the Steelers plus the 7. I know they're playing in Detroit. Their strength in theory is the defensive line, and they've showed up every once in a while, and they did against the Dolphins. And if they do that, then Jared Goff is very average, if not bad. And that's like his number one weakness. I'm going to say this, and then the Steelers are going to get blown out by 50 points in this game. I mean, I could easily talk myself out of this, but I like a full touchdown. I mean, they should be able to do something. They should be able to compete in this game. Their defense should be able to keep things in check. I don't know. There's nothing really more you can say about it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers had played one of his best games of the season last week. Lions defense is terrible. I mean, in reality, the Steelers should win this game if we're really being honest with ourselves. The Lions are very beatable this year, and theoretically, they match up well against them. I just have to see it happen on the field. I mean, I guess we'll see, but I'm going to take a full touchdown from the Steelers. I mean, my goodness, if they cannot cover that, that would really be embarrassing for them, really and truly.
I think that's what's going to happen. Guys, the Lions are playing for their lives. The Lions are one of these teams that's trying to convince everybody that they belong. Guys, they don't belong. They don't belong. Because outside of Aiden Hutchinson and Brian Branch, you have no defense. Kirby Joseph is on again, off again. He's a dirty player. I mean, who do they have? Anzalone? I mean, they have some guys, I guess, but they're going to have to win the game by scoring 40, which I think they will. No TJ Watt. Just watch DK Metcalf and all should be well. They're going to hold down Jalen Warren. They're going to hold. The running game is not going to get going here in Detroit. Detroit's going to put up a big number here. St. Brown, J-Mo, and don't forget, Gibbs can eat. I mean, he's due for a 3-tutty game. He goes 3 tutties, no tutties, 3 tutties, no tutties. This is a 3-tutty game. And that's what's going to happen, dude. I think they eat Pittsburgh alive here. Guys, Pittsburgh is not good. Don't get gassed because they beat up on an anemic Miami Dolphin team on Sunday night. They're not good, guys. They're not good. They are the weakest AFC playoff team available right now. They are. All those other teams ahead of them will cornhole them when it comes time to play. And Aaron Rodgers needs to retire, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of his. He's playing hurt. He's old. Outside of Metcalf, like, what galvanizes you about this team? What makes you think that they could score enough to stay in this game? The Lions can score 50 points if they need to. Can the Pittsburgh Steelers score 30? I just don't see it. The number is large because they want you to buy into the narrative that Pittsburgh can stay in this game or win the game. I know that the Detroit defense is horrendous, but when you can score 50, your defense can be horrendous because you can win games by outscoring other teams, and I think that's exactly what happens here. I think Goff goes crazy. I'm taking the Lions with a lot of confidence here because I just don't believe in the Steelers anywhere.
Let's go to Sunday Night Football, and it's the New England Patriots. They are playing the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are a field goal favorite. I like the Patriots in this game. I don't like the Ravens. I know they had a big win last week, if you want to call it that, but the Bengals really are a bad team, and that was just a really bad performance from the Bengals, but they've been bad all season long. The Ravens don't excite me, and we've seen them kind of falter throughout the season. I don't think Lamar Jackson's 100%. I think they're going to dial up a lot of pressure. I could see a couple of interceptions or a couple of turnovers for Lamar in this game. I mean, is this really the Ravens team that we all believe is going to finish strong and make a playoff push? I haven't seen that really once this entire season, and last week is not going to change my mind on that front. And New England probably is kind of pissed about their performance that they had. I mean, how do you give up 21-point lead? I mean, that's got to be on the forefront of their mind. I mean, they're going to play so hard in this game. It's under the lights. They've played really well in primetime games this season. I could just really see them taking this one. So I don't see Drake May throwing a bunch of interceptions and kind of giving the game away like Joe Burrow did. I'd just be really shocked. I think they're going to play really clean football, and I think that bodes really unwell for the Ravens. The Ravens seem to like thrive in chaos. When the other team plays a really clean football game, I feel like that's really like one of their biggest weaknesses. And so I like the field goal +3 from the Patriots here.
Not me. I like the Ravens. The Ravens will play hard. They're still a good team. They've just had a bad season. I mean, you saw it last week when this team shut down probably one of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL. I mean, it's really nothing else. That tells you everything you need to know. They're going to be keying in on the run game of the Patriots, and they're going to slow it down. I don't care that Stephon Diggs has incentives all over the place. I don't think it matters. They're not that type of throw-heavy team. They want to run the ball, control clock, and keep those guys on the other side, which is exactly what the Ravens want to do. And I think they will do that. And that defense has got to be feeling good, just pitching a shutout. Now they're under the lights. The problem with the Ravens is it's too little too late. You know what I mean? Too little too late. But it doesn't mean they're going to go out like bitches. I think they still put up good tape here. I think the Patriots are not as good as people think they are. They've had a very soft schedule. When you're up 21 points and you lose the game at home, that tells me everything I need to know about your focus and the mettle of the team that you think you are. There's who you are, and then there's who you think you are. And who you are is what I saw last week. Who you think you are is we run away with that win. And that's not what happened. It's not what happened. And so I'm in love with the Ravens here. I really am. Field goal will get you close to winning money. Tease it down if you want. I just think Lamar will do enough. Guys, they still have weapons and they're healthy. And if Kyle Hamilton can get on the field, man, they'll be fine. I'm not worrying about anything the Patriots are doing here. Outside of Travion Henderson busting long runs, that's not a team that really scares me. Hunter Henry's got some, incentives as well. I just think the Ravens, believe it or not, guys, I still think they're the better team. I know it's hard to believe when you look at the records, but the Ravens have played a tougher schedule. Dude, the Patriots have played nobody. The Patriots lost to the Raiders. The Patriots lost to two of the worst teams in the NFL this year. I don't care what anyone says. Until further notice in the playoffs, to me, they're a paper tiger. They're a good team. They have a good head coach, and they have a very good quarterback. But to me, there's a lot that needs to be desired. Spillane is out in this game. I think they get rolled on. I really do. I think Derrick Henry still shows that he's got something in the tank. And like I said, 24-0 versus Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Chase Brown. That's a team that could score 40 points at any given time. They put up 0. 0. Guys, shutouts are hard to come by in the NFL. Very difficult. And I think that they put up a big game here. I don't think they can make the playoffs, but I think they're going to at least go down swinging. Ravens -3.
Ooh, okay. All right. Last game, Monday Night Football. Thanks. It's the 49ers. They're traveling to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Colts are +5.5. It's it's not enough. Okay. I actually was on the side of the Colts in that Seahawks game. I couldn't believe my eyes how close that game was. This is not going to be close. There's just that weird thing in football where there's a new thing that comes into town and it just throws you off. I mean, we saw it with Baker Mayfield when he played for the Rams in that Raiders game. There's like this one game grace period or something. I think the 49ers could win this game like 40-3. Like, I think it's going to be extreme. I think it's going to be this defense, this Robert Saleh defense might like sideline Phillip Rivers. And I'm being serious. Like, he's going to get crushed. This really, it was kind of embarrassing for Seattle. Like, what happened? It's just one of those strange things in football that happen. It ain't happening 2 weeks in a row. This is my other best bet. This is like the number one game of my teaser this week. I need the 49ers to beat the Colts, led by Phillip Rivers. It ain't happening, and it's not even going to be close. I love the 49ers in this game. I think this is the biggest blowout of the week, other than the Raiders game.
I don't. I don't believe in the 49ers. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL. Yeah, they've had some nice signature wins, and I'm willing to give them that. But defense wins championships, and all your stars are hurt. Period. They're all hurt. And so, with 4 days of NFL practice, and after being off for 5 years, the I think the performance that you got out of Phillip Rivers was commendable. They covered versus you just saw what Seattle did. It is a very strong defensive-led team. I know they gave a ton of points, but they gave it up to number one scoring offense in the NFL. A team that has played great teams. I do not believe in the Niners. I just don't. And I think under the lights, on the road, I think you're going to give me 6 points. I'll find a way to keep that game close because they're going to run right at San Francisco. Jonathan Taylor is due for a big day. He's had a quiet December, and I think that he goes off here. I have a funny feeling that everyone is going to be on the 49ers here because this guy's 44 years old and can't throw the ball 20 yards. You can do a lot with a week's worth of practice. You could do a lot. You could draw up different plays. You're home. It's not like your stars are injured. They're all there, man. Tyler Warren's there. Michael Pittman's there. Josh Downs there. Alec Pierce there. The guys, Jonathan Taylor there. Amir Abdullah there. They're all there. Guys, they're healthy. And they're home. And most of all, they're a home dog. And you know how I love my home dogs, man. I just think that they're better than people think they are. I know they've struggled. They peaked early. Daniel Jones is hurt. Now they're able to shake off the rust and, the chaos of that happening. And now they got this guy in there. This Jake Paul sideshow of a quarterback is in there again. But let's not forget, man, Phillip Rivers has played this offense before. This is not something that is way new to him that he's learning on the fly. He's a gamer. He's an absolute monster. I know he's 44, but look, if the offensive line can protect him, which I think they can, and the San Francisco 49ers, they don't get to anybody. They could rush 8. They don't get to anybody. So you're going to have Phillip Rivers with tons of time. You can't tell me that team can't cover 6. Brock Purdy's no world beater. He's good, but, I think they find a way to cover. Guys, it wouldn't shock me to see the Colts win this game. It really wouldn't. Guys, the Niners have not been this wonderful team that, guys, their schedule is so easy. It's not even funny. It really isn't. They have one really signature win that I'm willing to give them is when they beat the Rams earlier and they were decimated. I just don't see it, man. Ricky Pearsall is banged up. Juwan Johnson, he's okay. I just think that you are going to see the Colts play really hard to stay in this thing because they're a playoff team too, man. They've won enough games early that if they can get their last 2 or 3, they're going to get in the playoffs. Will they make any noise? I don't think they will, but they know the whole world is watching. And Steichen's a good coach, man. I think they play hard here and cover the 5.5. I'm taking the Colts with a lot of confidence. I do not believe in the San Francisco 49ers anywhere. That's a slate. A lot of good games, a lot of meaningful games, position, seeding. It's all happening here, guys. Happy holidays to you and yours. We got a lot going on, but as usual, don't blow your load. Don't lose your wife. Don't lose your kids. Don't lose your home. We do this for fun. If you're gambling for a living, you better be better than we are because I'm telling you right now, it could make you homeless real quick. I've seen this firsthand, and it's not pleasant. So please be safe. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, all that. You got a ticket for the people, Wiz?
Yeah, I love the 49ers on this tease. I like the Texans on a tease, and then I'm throwing the Chargers on there. I may buy the extra half point to go to 6.5, so I'm getting +9 for the Chargers against the Dallas Cowboys. Love that.
Texans, Chargers, tease on my end. Anytime touchdown, Rico Dowdle. All his overs, as a matter of fact. The boy is going to go absolutely hog wild. Whatever the sack overs for Hunter, Will Anderson, over. Absolutely Myles Garrett, sack anytime, maybe even 2. I love that a lot. There's a lot of individual prop bets that I like this week, but those are mine coming from World of Matchups. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for the support. Like, share, subscribe, and we are OUT. Peace.
See you guys.
Go Titans.